what message do you have? So that will be inspiration for you, the young professionals. I'm not sure how it is in your field, but in our field, seems like that the colleges, they don't help a lot the new tradespeople to get in, the youngsters. It's quite a long program, even in plumbing. You need to be actually for 4 years with a company. So it's not that you as a young person, you don't want, but you need to find a company who's willing to keep you for 4 years.
To get you, yeah.
So,
I mean, to be fair, in land surveying, because I was thinking to do land surveying, and in land surveying, you have to work with a licensed land surveyor for 7 years before you could even do your license exam.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a long process. And you have to have a degree in land surveying as well. Right?
So again, it's coming to the time.
Yeah. It's all about the time, right? So I would suggest that if you could get in to some sort of a program that you could start learning from a young age, which try to figure out what you want to do at a young age, try to get into a program and learn and learn as much as you can. And within that framework as well, especially when you're young, is good to make mistakes, because again, mistakes are there for you to learn. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because if you're afraid to make mistakes, you're afraid to learn. So you got to go out there and do that. And then also have a heart of service as well, because think as you are learning all of this, think of how could you serve other people with the knowledge that you have, because we're in a knowledge-based society at the moment. So if the people with the knowledge, as I said, the people with the information, this is the age that we're in, are the ones, once you could disseminate that, once you could share that or teach it to masses, then you should, you'll have food on your table for the rest of your life, right? So learn as much as you can, and then have a sort of a heart or a mindset of how do we serve other people with this information.
Recently I launched a new platform called Gasman on School, and the idea behind is I came across. I'm kind of fairly new in the plumbing and heating industry. So I think we are trading now for about 7, 8 years. But I'm the kind of guy, I like technology all the time. So if something new which can help me, and even to the extent that you can take the payment with your phone, just a tap in. So anything to help the transaction, to help the customer, to be more transparent, because remember, I think it was my second year, and I joined a group called BNI. And in BNI, I met a person who was an Australian guy, who was a business coach. And obviously, it was my first years. It was struggling still, difficult to find customers, not having the correct mindset. And the guy said to me, Florian, it's true that there are a lot of plumbers out there, a lot of gas engineers, and it's a bit of battle between you guys. And, most of you guys compete price-wise rather than service. And the guy said, you need to look into the society, into your place, your community. What are the pieces of puzzle which are missing? What do you think a customer wants from a plumber? And put them down there. So first and foremost, to pick up the phone call. Just answer that phone. And then, if you need to have an appointment to, a survey, go on that time you said you'll go. Provide the code. And this basic stuff, because actually this is happening. There are so many plumbers out there. They are so busy. Not that they are intentionally doing this, but they are so busy they don't have any system in place to help them to manage their time. They're just a mess. And then as I start to implement these sort of things, I realize that actually, they do cost a bit of money, these softwares, but it's not a fortune. But it did help me to actually have a clear view of what I'm doing. And then understand that I provide service to customers easy, and slowly so I start to grow. But still I bump into plumbers probably some age or even younger than me, as a sole trade or as a company, they still not using a system where they are very easily to engage with the customers. Today, I mean, we live in this time where, you order on Amazon at 10 o'clock in the evening and you expect tomorrow morning Amazon on your door.
Yeah, but
and
that took them years to
we,
develop.
we don't go in that subject if it's a good or a bad thing. But, we understand more and more that the customer behaviors move towards that thing, that they don't want to waste their time. And with the plumbers tend to happen, customer booked for that time and they don't show up. And it's such a, frustrating thing. And I start to develop this system where, okay, we need to actually be more transparent, and we give them like a half an hour or 1 hour window frame, but we do get to the job. There's no such a thing.
Yes.
And in this community, what I want to kind of share is there are a lot of plumbers even saying that, I don't like technology. And a lot of them, they have that fear that actually they will mess up. Things are quite simple. They're not that difficult. But it's just that fear of changing.
Yeah.
You cannot stay out there and still be, busy when you don't want to change, because things are changing. I mean, we are 2024. If you look 10 years ago, they were not here. So we evolve.
Yes, over time.
So why not then? So I think it's important to share your experience, share your knowledge. I think there's one thing. Even though I won't be able to teach a plumber to be a better plumber, technically speaking, if you know what I mean, because obviously there's another thing, which time and how hard you work and how much you want to learn. But when it's coming to the side, which I think is very crucial,
could teach them how to serve.
To serve, because it's like we gained so many customers. I remember there was this guy in local, and bless him, he will refuse even now. Even today, he still has his diary, pen and paper. But it's quite difficult to manage stuff. And someone said to me, once you get to a certain turnover, is the time for you to bring an admin person to deal with your phone call, emails, because it's not normal for a customer to call you and after 3 days you did not return the call. That sort of stuff.
Not good.
Because if you're in this business and you became better and better, obviously there's a reason. So then just,
Well, in network marketing, they said the system stands for save yourself time, energy, and money.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So we need to have systems in place to be able to save ourselves time, energy, and money, and of course to serve the customer better.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the digital era we are
of
now
course
in,
we have to use
and like we said about Amazon, it was it's shocking how quick, and you can go there and you search the market whatever you want. But it's nothing wrong to implement that in our business as well.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong. I remember on the payments, the service we're using, the software we're using, it gives so many options to the customer to choose how to pay. And at the very early stage, plumbers used to like cash a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. And
it's like a Chinese restaurant.
Yes, sort of, yeah. But if you go that route, you'll be limited how to grow your business. If you go that route, whenever you'll have an extra engineer or something like that, how you'll manage the payments. You will have to put time aside to go to collect payment from customers. It's just silly. It's just literally, it's not possible. We do have customers where they are not capable to do a bank transfer or card payment. And simply thing what we do, we post the invoice and ask them to take the invoice to the bank and do the bank payments. But anything else to help the customer to pay as soon as possible, help us as well with the cash flow in the company.
Yeah.
So I'm doing now a course specific for business, and everybody says cash is the king. Cash is the king. Necessarily that is a king, but a company without the cash in obviously won't be able to survive. So then why not putting a system in place to help you to cash out the service, the invoice as soon as possible?
Yep.
So yeah, it's a good one. But yeah, I want to ask you a few more things. I mean, you already mentioned a few projects. What was the biggest of most entertainment project you've been into with because again, you have the chance to be in some places where not everybody gets.
Yeah. So the stadium was quite big, especially for the age that I was at. So that was a big project. It was probably the largest engineering project on the island at the time, anyways. Okay. So a 19-year-old to do that was something. The 18-hole golf course for the Hilton Hotel, yeah, and that was a golf course from scratch. It didn't exist, right? So that was a nice project as well. Here in the UK, the schools I mentioned, but we also did some cancer treatment bunkers. There's a significance to it.
Okay.
This was in Exeter. I work for the UK Atomic Energy Agency, and we were building a bunker for fusion energy. So that's a significant project as well. So I did that for several years with the UK Atomic Energy Agency. We did student housing, a lot of stuff, and military airport, repaving military airports. So nice projects, but you're always thinking Robert Kiyosaki in the back of your head, right?
Yeah.
When you're exchanging your time for money and you're thinking, oh, it's okay, well, yeah, nice project, but who is actually making the money is really the company, the big company.
Obviously, a job like this helps you easy to invest your money.
Yes, correct.
Because,
that's right. So you've got
that will be the kind of closing section where.
Correct.
Do you have a discipline of how you invest your money, how you look after your money? Because obviously,
yes. So we have to have a structure. And you remember you mentioned Dave Ramsey earlier. So we do follow a lot of the principles from Dave Ramsey in divvying up the money and having it accountable. We did the Financial Peace University, which was really good to get your mind clear on how we manage the finances appropriately as well. I mean, and again, is not overnight that is going to fall into place, but at least we have some sort of a structure to be able to follow, and just follow the guidelines, and it will be there. Yeah.
I think it's an important discipline to, especially
develop the discipline.
It's not just for your personal finance, but for your company as well.
Yes, that's right.
Because if you don't follow that thing, I came from a background where, as a country, Romania, obviously ex-communist country. I was born during the communist
time.
So when Romania kind of became a democratic country, if we can say that, there was still a huge lack. I mean, there was a huge void where was an unknown. People, they did not have any knowledge on finance.
All right, because the government usually just sees
of course. But imagine in Romania, I think it was 1990. So right after the
Berlin Wall.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
The recession kicking, the inflation. I mean, obviously I was too young then to know, but later I learned the inflation was around 250%. So people, they were going to buy leather goods, not to keep the cash.
Seriously?
So it was a mental, and that was a time when people was being scammed with a lot of Ponzi scheme as well. Again, not financial education. So I think what's good in this age, especially for the young generation, there's a lot of access to financial education and trading and whatever you want to learn.
Yes.
But you still have to do your homework.
Yes, it's a lot of noise.
Yeah, make sure you got the right. And another thing, I'm not saying that a young person cannot be a successful person, but you do have to look to whoever will be your mentor. It was their results.
The results. Yeah, that's right. You've got to have somebody with some sort of results. The good book says, by their fruits you shall know them. So you need to understand what fruits they're producing first before you even try to sup at that tree.